Here we have a Symmons shower valve. This one's got a steady drip, so we're going to replace the spindle. We're also going to do the diverter while we have it open. That one moves hard. First, we want to shut the water off to it, hot and cold. Next, you'll want to open a faucet somewhere in the house to relieve the pressure so you don't get wet when you're taking it apart. Alright, with the hot and cold water shut off, we'll just test, make sure it actually is off. Next, we'll take a utility knife, we'll pop this little decorative cap. This one's missing, but yours probably has it. Next, there should be a flat or Phillips screw in there. We'll unthread that. Try to get the handle off. More likely than not, it won't come off. So we'll take a pair of channel locks, put it on there like that, press straight down, back up, and it'll snap the handle off. Alright, now with that removed, we can see the end of the spindle here and around the packing nut is wet. So we want to make sure we tighten that when we install the new spindle in there. Alright, now with that out of the way, you can also get to these two Phillips or flathead screws. That'll remove the faceplate. Alright, now with the faceplate removed, we'll remove that packing nut. Set that aside. Now with that removed, we'll remove the spindle. On a decent sized set of channel locks. Down there. Push pretty hard, it might be stuck on there. Thread that out. Might have to wiggle a little bit. And the spindle should slide out. Next, we'll take our 4-way wrench. We use the bigger piece here to remove the outer seat. Then we'll take the little smaller end here. We'll remove the inner seat. Some of the seats may be stuck in there. So the center one is kind of hard. So we'll take channel locks, get them down there, push in as we turn, crack it loose, then it should be able to spin out. Alright, now that we have our seats removed, we'll install the nice new ones. We'll install the back one, the small one first, then the big one. With the new seats installed, we're going to remove the diverter. For this, we'll use our 4-way again. There's some that have Phillips screws or flathead screws. This particular one uses the 4-way. Put that in there, remove that. Next, you'll remove the little cap right there. Then we'll use the twisted end, slide it in there. Pull the diverter out. Next, you want to clean the diverter hole out. So I'll use a 1/2-inch wire brush made for copper pipe. Just get it in there, work it back and forth. Make sure the rubber on the diverter can seal to the housing. Alright, next we'll install the new diverter. If you have plumber's grease handy, it's good to put a little bit on there to help it slide in easier. Slide the new one in, it should bottom out and stop. Next we'll take our brass colored keyway, put a flathead screwdriver in there, set it in our diverter so it sits against it flat. Alright, next we'll put our cap on, whether it's the Phillips or the one that uses the 4-way. Sometimes it's easier to put it on the 4-way, sometimes it's not. Once you have it started, tighten it up with the 4-way. Doesn't have to be super tight, just snug. And that's it, you just replace the diverter part of it. Alright, now we'll move on to installing the new gasket. We'll remove the old gasket, install the new gasket on the front of the spindle housing. Should just slide on there, make sure it sits nice and flat. Next we'll take the spindle, put it into the front of the housing. Then we'll take the spindle, reinstall it into the shower valve. Use your pliers. Tighten that up. You don't need to go super tight, just snug because it's a new gasket. Alright, with our spindle reinstalled, we'll install that packing nut. Keep in mind it doesn't need to be super tight. Just get it finger tight. Give it a little snug with the pliers. Then your shower valve is back together. Alright, with the packing nut on, we'll take our handle, make sure the valve is closed. Take a flathead screwdriver, turn that little brass indicator for the tub to shower. Make sure it's kind of pointing up diagonal to the right. That'll make sure it's on tub and you don't get wet. And then you can turn the water on and test the valve. Alright, now with the water turned on, we use the handle. We turn the water on actually into the tub. We checked here in the diverter for any leaks. Check the spindle around the housing here for any leaks. There's none, so we're good. Next you can move on to taking a razor blade or some cleaner, cleaning off where the faceplate mounts before we remount the faceplate. Alright, now that we have our faceplate area clean, we're going to install the centerpiece first, so just thread on. If you had the other nut style, you can put that on too. Next, we'll move on to the faceplate. You should have a gasket behind here. If you don't, you can order one. They do resell this whole faceplate, so you can purchase it if yours is discolored or nasty. So we'll install that by putting it on there, lining up those Phillips screws or flat screws on each side. You need to try to twist the diverter back and forth till you line it up. Once you get it in, take your Phillips or flat screwdriver, we'll tighten those 2 screws up. Alright, with your faceplate tight, we can reinstall the handle. Tighten down your Phillips or flat screw that holds it on. Snug it down. Next we'll put our decorative cap back on. And that's it, you just rebuilt your shower valve.